Welcome to Cucina Pazzo. Today we're going to play with some fire. So we're going to make coconut creme brulee for a dessert, and it's going to be low carb. So it's also going to be dairy free. So there are eggs in this. Can't get away from some of the animal proteins. It's not a vegan dish, but for those that dairy bothers them, this is a very easy recipe, and it starts coconut cream. So I got 1 can of coconut cream. This should make about 3 of this size ramekin. 3 of these, just about. Got some hot water boiling here. We're going to be using some monk fruit sugar. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to start with here. So I measured out. This is about 1 3/4 cups of the coconut cream. It also has coconut milk in there. We're going to use the whole thing. So a lot of recipes only want you to dig out the cream. This is going to be for the whole thing. So this is going to go in a pot, like so. I'm going to point you down here. Okay. This is going to go on the stove on low in a minute after I scrape it out. Let's get all of our stuff in there. So you can see that cream is nice and loose. Okay. Before this goes on the stove, we need to cut a vanilla bean. So vanilla beans are not very hard to cut. Get a good sharp knife. Take your vanilla bean. You're going to split it in half as best as you can. So I buy these in bulk and I stick them in the freezer once I open the pack. So they last forever. Okay? So you've got that split. So if you look inside of there, this is where all the good stuff is that's going to be in there. Okay? And you take the back side of the knife. This is the sharp side. You take the back side and you're just going to scrape. Okay? So you're trying to free up all of these beans. You want them in there. This is what's going to make it good. You could also use vanilla extract. Vanilla extract's just fine. This is going to have a lot more of a fresher flavor to it, and totally worth it in my opinion. So if you've ever made any kind of coconut cream pie or anything like that. So we've got that scraped. So we're going to take these, we're going to put them in the pot. Always scrape with the back side of your knife, not the sharp side, the back side. Okay. I'm going to move these out of the way. So we're going to put this on the stove. I'll move us over here in a minute. Put this on the stove. About medium heat. Okay? So while we're doing that, we've got to get our egg yolks. I have 4 egg yolks, separated the whites. These are going to go into the pot here. I have 1/3 cup of monk fruit sugar. 1/3 cup. Okay? Be real easy. We're going to take our whisk, like so. No, that's not on fast speed. About a minute. They start turning pale in color. You're whipping air in there. So the yolks aren't going to be so dark anymore, okay? I'm going to put this over by this pot that we have going. I'm going to give this a stir. You want that to all settle down in there. Okay. Got that going. So we need to butter our ramekins. So I'm using the Mayokos butter. Okay. Just a quick layer. Doesn't take a lot. If you skip this step, it's not the end of the world, but it's always better. A little butter makes everything a little bit better. So I like the Mayokos. It's half the fat of regular butter. Tastes like butter, cooks like butter. So the only thing it's not is butter. So, all right, so we got that on there. We're gonna set these over here. I'm gonna move you guys so that you are over by the stove. Okay? Let's see if you can see the pot. So you want to get this up to a simmering stage. Let's see if I can move you up here. You can see that all the cream is dissolved. It's all together. Make sure you get some water boiling. I have a little kettle off to the side that I have boiling. That's going to go around your ramekins before it goes into the oven, or as it goes into the oven. So I will be back when this starts simmering. All right, so the cream is starting to simmer. We're going to give this a couple of minutes, and I will be back. So 2 minutes, and we'll be back and I'll show you how to add this to the eggs. All right, it's been 2 minutes, so we have to turn off our heat. All right, get our vanilla bean out of there. I had the other piece. Okay, that's okay. We're going to pour real slowly, so I'm going to pour this into this pot here. Let me raise this up so that you can see it. So give this a little stir first, all right? So we're going to set this off to the side. You should see little vanilla bean pieces on the end of your spoon. I don't know if you could see that vanilla bean on there, okay? There it is. I found the piece I was looking for. Get that out of there. Okay. So we're going to pour a little bit in. Just so you can see it. We're going to pour a little bit in. A little bit more. Tempering the eggs, stirring the whole time. A little bit more. Bit more. Not too fast, you don't want to cook the eggs. If your hand feels tired, you're probably doing it right. So just a little stream like this. So at this point, I want to scoop a little bit. Make sure I get as many of those vanilla seeds in there as I can at the end, because I only got that much left in the pan. Put all of that in there. Okay. Make sure to keep that off the heat. Okay. Okay, now we're going to turn you around here. All right, we got our 3 pans here. And you can strain this. I'm not going to. So there's still some vanilla seeds in there. I like getting those out. Just take your spoon. See, this recipe filled these up nicely. Okay. Okay, so we have these set like this. I'm gonna move you so you can see my oven. Whoops. Almost dropped you into the oven. Ha ha ha. All right, let's see if you can see down in there. All right, so I got the oven. Let's get this out. Very carefully. Put that in there like so. Grab our kettle. So 325. I have it on 300 because I have a convection oven, so I can cheat a little bit. Very carefully put that in there. So if there's any left, you can pour it in there. So it's probably good. In 30 minutes, we'll be back. All right, we're back, and that was 22 minutes, and these things are set. And I wanted to show you, if you can see how it just jiggles a little bit? When you tap it, it just jiggles just a little bit. That means it's set. So now we want to let these cool down to room temperature. We're going to put them in the refrigerator, and then after they're completely cool, we play with the blowtorch, and we'll put a nice crunchy top on it, just like a regular creme brulee. Welcome back to Cucina Pazzo, and the creme brulee has had time to chill and set a little bit. I've got one right here. I'm going to show you how I finish this off. And they have smaller torches than obviously my big propane torch that I'm going to use, but it's out of gas. So that's why we're going to bring out the big guns here. So we're going to take our bag of monk fruit sugar. We're going to take 1 tablespoon of monk fruit sugar. Put that right on the top, like so. Spread it around as good as we can. Like so. All right. see it starting to liquefy. Keep your torch moving. It's not about burning it. It's about melting it. Maybe you want to scorch it just a little. You can see it start to sizzle a little bit. All right. Okay, we're going to let that sit. We want it to cool down a little bit. I just turned that monk fruit sugar into molten sugar. You can see it glistening on the top a little bit. Nope, still wet. We have to wait for it to re-solidify, but it is hot. So, shouldn't take very long. Can you hear that? Wait for it to chill out a little bit. I did warm that up a little bit. So you can see it starting to solidify like right here. All right, it's hard for me to wait. I've been dying for this, but it has a crunch. Here we go. That is amazing.